Good morning, traders. Manny Capera here from MDC Trading Academy with today's pre-market forecast for Wednesday, April the 13th. Let's jump to our news items for this morning. We already had the PPI and the core PPI reports released earlier today, and both missed expectations. They were expected to be at 1.1 and 0.5%, but unfortunately they went higher, which continues to draw a very grim picture in reference to inflation in the next couple of months, maybe quarters. And also remember, we're kicking off our earnings week this week with JP Morgan and I believe it was Delta reporting profits this morning. Let's look at the general broad market through our look at our daily chart. And as we can see, market is holding strong in key areas of support. I believe I expected this area up here, which I'm highlighting right here. I expected this to be a stronger support level with the 80, the 50. With the 80, the 200, and the 20. But unfortunately, the market broke below that. Now it's essentially holding on to dear life to the 50 SMA. Now again, don't forget, we're talking about the retracement. From this swing to this swing, we're at a 50% retracement. The market can come even lower to the 61% retracement and expect to bounce back, which is our expectation here, a potential bounce back. I think this is all kind of discounting the expectation of potential earnings season, and we'll see what happens. Inflation has a funny way of making balance sheets look a bit more profitable than usual. Let's look a little deeper behind these numbers as we start to build, obviously, on this information, try to gather what we're expecting. And obviously, we can't argue with the fact that the market tends to have a bearish posture. We're coming off this main channel here of supporting resistance. We kind of thought this area here was just going to be just kind of like oscillating for a while and continuing up, but no, it literally broke lower. It attempted to come higher again, and here's where we find ourselves with another micro trend line. Now remember, these things tend to break in the favor of the direction and some with high percentage. So what would we expect if it breaks here? We're expecting acceleration to the downside. In order to go long, obviously, and look for longs, we would have to see it break this particular trend line, find support, and try to launch from it. So that's from a longer perspective. I may say maybe a day or two, maybe towards the end of the week. We'll see what happens today, because once we retest this area here, if and when we retest this area here, it could be today, it could be early this morning, late this afternoon, or tomorrow. Once this area gets retested, what happens here is going to be critical. This will be our third time to this level. We've had two rebuffs, strong rebuffs, one stronger than the other. We'll see what happens here the next time. What does today look like in reference to this analysis? And again, we find ourselves between the intraday high, which is this blue line here of yesterday's session, and the intraday low of yesterday's session. And again, there's a huge descending triangle that we have with a interim support that we have here at this particular price level here. So we do have some compression, which the market clearly broke through. Next potential area where the market can retest is this area that I've been telling you about, where we've been there two times already. This would be potentially our third time in this price level if the market cannot hold here. So anything between here and here, we're looking for shorts, and anything, of course, that breaks below here is probably going to accelerate the market. Longs, we're looking for longs above this particular trend line here. This trend line here, that would be looking for longs above that, and of course above this, and ultimately we want to see the market break above here for longs. So sit tight, wait for the moves to happen. Do not force this market. Don't fall in love with either the short side or the long side of the morning. Have a great session. Let me know if you have any questions. Take care.